The theme for December is celebrating divine truth. The topic for today is making magic. Patrick Harbula wrote in The Magic of the Soul, recognize that spiritual force, the magic of each individual soul, is present and active in every experience. Through daily practice, we can dramatically change how we respond to life's challenges and infuse the direction of our lives with greater peace, fulfillment, and meaning. Patrick Harbula also wrote, finding the magic in every situation is a technique that can help us to accept whatever is happening in each moment. If it is magical, we can use it to increase our expression of soul energy and learn from the experience. And finally, Debashish Murata once said, deep down in my heart, I always keep smiling because the life is such a magical, mysterious, and wonderful thing. Please say with me, with joy, I am making magic every time align with the power, presence, and authority of divine truth in me. And now I will turn this over to the dearest, magical, miraculous, and wonderful Reverend Kathleen.
Thank you, Jen. You're pretty magical yourself. So today's theme, and also the end of December, the culmination of this focus on celebrating divine truth, is about making magic. Making magic. I love that idea. Realizing that we are magical beings. When you think about it, we're miraculous, we're magical, we have these creative powers that we're using all the time. Every time we think and place our attention on something, we are, these magical creative juices flow within us and then out from idea into expression. It's pretty amazing when you think about it. And so today we're going to be focusing on this idea of making magic using universal law. And so repeat after me. Let's set our intention up front. I joyfully intend for 2021.
I joyfully intend for 2021
to mindfully create magic, to mindfully create a magical, joyful, enchanting life.
To mindfully create a magical, joyful,
enchanting life. Yes. For the highest good of all.
For the highest good of all.
I always like to end it that way because it's important for us to remember that every time we do create more joy and peace and love and magic in our lives, that because we're interconnected, we're supporting the whole in that. So there are three topics that I want to cover on this theme, that magic is all around us, the magic of demonstration, and also the magic of ritual. The magic all around us. Oh my goodness. I agree with Debashish, that beautiful quote. I do keep smiling as I realize how magical, mysterious, and mystical life is. Jen and I, before service, when we were doing some prayer together, we were talking about the magic of everyday life and living. And she was talking about the frost coming together like stalactites and stalagmites between two pieces of wood, just being able to observe that and see the sun reflecting on it. That's the ability to see the magical and the mystical nature of life. Thank you, Jen, for that beautiful example. And being with others is magical. Have you thought about that? The magic of love, that connection between yourself and other people, as you enter into conversation, as you work on projects together, as you pray together, as you vision together. So with other people and with animals as well, the animal kingdom, and just with Mother Earth. I mean, there's so many ways that we can connect and feel that deep love that's already within us. You know, as we extend our love, as we feel it and extend it, we multiply it. And that's the magic of love. It multiplies when you share it. It's amazing. There's a story about a small town in Spain, and a teenager by the name of Paco who got into this fight with his father and said, "I'm done," and he left the house. And his father thought, well, you know, he'll probably return, but after a few days he hadn't returned, and he was starting to feel great despair that his son was gone. And so he decided to post a notice in the local grocery store, which everybody went to at one time or another. It was the community board there. And it basically said, "Paco, we miss you. I love you. Please come home. Signed, your father. And meet me, by the way, meet me in the village square on Saturday at 12 noon. So the father arrived at 12 noon to the village square. And what showed up? But 7 Pacos, 7 teenagers trying to reunite with their father. The desire for love and connection is so deep, and it calls to us just like the father called to Paco. And so it is a reminder, whoops, sorry about that. Let's get my phone out of here. It's a reminder of how magical love is and how important it is to our well-being and our health and our sense of belonging. Technology is magical. Yes, I mean, look what we're doing here. We're on Zoom. We're connected with people far and wide. My sister down in Florida is able to connect in and be part of our services. And I'm thinking about, you know, the ability to search the internet and find all kinds of information that I need now for my work, putting my topics together on Sunday, and then really inspiring emails that come daily, like Optimist Daily, that give me the good news of what's going on the planet. And the intenders of the highest good emails that when I read them, there's another new intention for, another new mental equivalent for our planet, for our lives. And thinking that there are 3 million people that are tuning into that email every day. It's pretty amazing what our technology has provided for us. And the miracle of nature and the cosmos, which is really all part of nature, is magical. It's magical. I was thinking about just being able to be outside at night and look up at the stars. And I will never forget the moment that Dan and I decided to go out into Death Valley, out into the desert and away from all the lights, and to look at what the sky looks like from that vantage point where it is just rich in stars. So stars so close that it looks like a big dust almost in some places. They're so bright and brilliant, and there's so many of them. And the idea of there being other life, in other parts of the universe, and that the universe is ever expanding. It's already so amazingly big and vast that the human mind can't imagine, but it's even growing bigger every moment. And the snow and the ice that sparkled on all of our bushes and plants in that last snow, so beautiful, so magical. A sunrise, a beautiful sunrise or sunset, swans on a lake. I was just thinking of all these things that delight me and seem so magical. waterfalls, exotic animals like elephants, giraffes, and hippos, the magic of our pets, and the magic of animals appearing as we walk through the woods. And you know, one of the most magical things that I think in terms of bird songs is the wood thrush. Anybody know what I'm talking about when I'm talking about the song of a wood thrush? It is mystical, it is magical, it is so beautiful. There's so many opportunities. You know, life is amazingly creative and creativity is magical. And so it's important that we attune ourselves to all the mystery and magic that is taking place all around us. When we cultivate that sense of the magical, we move ourselves into the vibrational frequency of joy and gratitude. Very, very high vibrations where we are more open to the good flowing more freely through our lives. We're literally opening our hearts and our minds to more good. The magic of demonstration. You know, we teach that we're supposed to be very clear in our minds on the what it is that we desire, what our vision is for our lives, and that God or universe, spirit will take care of the how, of how it's going to happen. That's the let go and let God part. But we still do our part and provide the vision. So just as important as these two things is paying attention to how thoughts and visions and dreams and prayers and intentions become things and experiences. And we do that by witnessing the evidence of our intentions. We call that evidence demonstrations in our teaching, or it's the results that come from the prayers, the visions, the dreams that we've been placing our attention on. It's miraculous to watch ideas become manifest, become actualized in this time-space reality. It is a reminder of the amazing divine beings that we are, created by an amazing presence of God. It's just amazing when you think about it. It's miraculous. There's a principle that where our attention goes, energy flows and results show. It's a beautiful way of remembering how that goes. So it's important to place our attention not only on our dreams, but on the evidence of them showing up, and to keep a record of it, to write it down on your gratitude list. In our use of creative law, it's important to know that we don't have to force it. We don't have to make it happen. That it exists and it simply acts upon our every thought. And so the more relaxed we are, the more chill we are, the more we're able to be conduits for those ideas and those thoughts and those dreams to be made manifest. So the key is to envision and relax. Envision and relax. That's how it works. So it's miraculous. It's magical, the way thoughts become things. The last topic that I want to cover in this topic, the last part of it, or key step, is the magic of ritual. You know, sometimes in modern day times, we can forget the importance of ritual for our well-being. There is a researcher by the name of Francesca Gino from Harvard University who did a series of research studies on ritual and its impact on the physical body and in terms of health and well-being and all those vital signs that produce, better immune system, stronger immune system, slower heartbeat, more regular and deep breathing, all of those things. Ritual does that. So there are 4 kinds of rituals that she recommended, and I just want to share these with you briefly. The first one she called the grief ritual, and what she meant by that is any time that we feel down, it's really helpful to engage in a ritual. And the rituals that we have are journaling, prayer, calling up a practitioner. We have a lot of different rituals that we can do. But this particular ritual, I think, is also very, very helpful. And it is the spiritual practice of accepting what is happening. That's the first part. Rather than resisting it and pretending like it's not happening, which is called spiritual bypass. And we say, oh, all is well, and we try to bypass our feelings. That's called spiritual bypass. So instead of that, we accept, okay, I am feeling pretty down, or I'm feeling there's something not going really well with me right now. And then I learned this in the radical forgiveness teachings. And I find myself a couch and pound on it, letting out all the anger and the frustration or whatever is going on. And ultimately, I usually end up in tears as well. So then there's some release of sadness and grief as well. And then this magical, miraculous thing happens. It's like the air is cleared and the body is cleared, and this deep sense of peace and calm comes over me. And sometimes there are bursts of love. I want to go hug somebody, or there are bursts of joy from having that cleared out of my system. So notice it's not directed against somebody. It's a way of releasing energy that's gotten stuck, because we have a tendency in our culture to suppress, particularly women. So this is a powerful grief ritual that we can use on a regular basis to keep the circuits clear and open to the peace, joy, and love that we are in truth. Another ritual is called the personal starting ritual. I love this one. So if you have a tendency to procrastinate, listen up. Go like this with your ears and listen deeply. Set a timer for 5 minutes. Get a timer, you're on your phone, set it for 5 minutes. And then indulge yourself for 5 minutes in whatever you want to indulge yourself in. If you're sitting at the computer and you just want to indulge yourself in some happy videos or something like that before it's time to work, then go ahead and do that. But then when the alarm goes off, it's time to get to work. It's a very simple ritual, but apparently very effective and very powerful. Savoring ritual, the savoring ritual. I think about this one as my gratitude list is a savoring ritual. I'm able to savor all of the good things that happen during the day and to really take them in. Another savoring ritual is when we sit around the table with family and share what we're grateful for. Or just even connecting with someone and just sharing the joy of life and living with them. Savoring ritual. It's beautiful. The next one, and the final one, is they call it the performance ritual. And I was thinking, it's really kind of not only the performance ritual, this is a creative ritual. It's a ritual that supports our creative nature. And so these kinds of rituals increase confidence, performance, and the quality of character and life. And when our ministers, practitioners, and practitioners in training get together and pray before the service, we all get together on the same phone line. It's a ritual of uplifting the energy and setting creation in motion for a really good Sunday service that uplifts us and that is transformational. A very powerful ritual. And I was thinking about our winter solstice Christmas star ritual that we co-created. It came out of visioning. There were 2 visionings that came before it. And so the vision led us to do an outdoor event in the middle of winter when it was snowing, when there was snow on the ground. And it turned out to be so magical. It was so magical and so beautiful. even though we didn't see the Christmas star, that conjunction, that grand conjunction of Jupiter and Saturn, even though we didn't see it, we created magic. We co-created magic together. If you can just imagine this blazing bonfire in the middle of the Bartolozzi's farm. And then under Candace's leadership, we honored the 6 directions. We sang some of our familiar CSL Delaware songs. We drummed. We used the power of intention to release what doesn't serve us and to set new intentions of what it is that we choose to bring into our lives. We used ritual to create magic and mystery and enchantment in our lives and to be a creative power in the universe. Kwanzaa, another beautiful ritual. Each year I read a little bit more about it, and last year Virgie did such a beautiful job of witnessing and expressing, having us be able to witness and experience a Kwanzaa ritual. Kwanzaa means first fruits in Swahili, and it runs from December 26th through January 1st. It's a 7-day, principle-centered holiday that observed in the United States to celebrate the richness of African roots and the principles for living that are rooted actually in African theology. So the ritual, and I have one back here, is a placemat, a candelabra. We actually have a canara candelabra somewhere over at CC Arts. So if you'll just forgive me for today, I used some candlestick holders that I have here. But it has a black candle in the middle and 3 red candles on the left and 3 green candles on the right that stand for each of the 7 principles that are honored. There's a cup, and there is a corn, some ear of corn and fruits, and also there's an exchange of gifts as well. And then as the candle is lit, those who are present dedicate themselves to living these principles, not just saying them, but living them. So one candle is lit each day, and so just in honor of our brothers and sisters with African roots today, I'm going to light the candles and also to affirm the work that we are doing as a social justice initiative ministry in our world. I'd like us all just to participate in this beautiful ritual, and I'm going to keep it brief, but I still want to get across the point. So as I light the center candle, let us acknowledge and dedicate ourselves to living the principle of unity in our families, in our communities, in our nation, and all over the world. And this next candle is dedicated to self-determination. The right and the ability to define ourselves, to create, and also to speak for ourselves, to be a voice for ourselves. So that is, to me, that is what we are all about in this teaching, and so we join our brothers and sisters in that. The next one is working together to solve problems affecting the Black community. So we're joining all of our Black brothers and sisters in this commitment. The next one is cooperative economics, supporting and investing in businesses owned by our Black brothers and sisters. The next one is purpose, doing our part to support the prospering and well-being of the Black community. The next one is creativity, using our creative nature to leave our world more beautiful and beneficial than when we inherited it. Love that one. And the last one is faith in each other for the prosperity of all, working together for the prosperity of all. This so much reminds me of our vision of a world that works for all. And so I'd like to end that with, I've got to light the candle. Faith. The commitment to live faith. And so I want to end with Ashe. Ashe comes from Yoruba, from the country of Nigeria. And it stands for this: the power to make things happen and produce change. There it is again, using the magic of our creative nature. And this Thursday, we have another opportunity, and it means getting up early. It means setting your alarms so that you get up on time and show up. This is a ritual that we've done since the very beginning, and it's a ritual that I've been involved in since 1986 at its inception, when I first heard about it. And this is a commitment to healing our world, the World Healing Meditation Service. It was a candle lighting service, so we bring our candles to participate in the ritual, right? And we bring our breakfast for the ritual of having breakfast when the service is done. This is a beautiful ritual of everybody reading the same John Randolph Price prayer at the same time, synchronized all over the world. And we know that there is great power in group intention. John Randolph Price's prayer, he's a New Thought author who's made his transition. This prayer is inspiring. It's inspired. It's beautiful. And it's something that's been read every year since 1986. And knowing that we are being a vital part of co-creating a better world, a world that works for all, is so inspiring to me. So I am inviting all of you to show up this Thursday at 6:45, and 7 o'clock right on the dot is when we all read the prayer together. We'll put it up on the screen so everybody can read it in unison. So slowing down creates inner peace. Ritual is vital to our well-being and to co-creating together. It's a vital, vital part. Deepak Chopra writes, "You must learn to get in touch with the innermost essence of your being. It's fearless, it's free, it's immune to criticism, it does not fear any challenge, it is beneath no one, superior to no one, and full of magic, mystery, and enchantment." So we are not magicians in the way of smoke and mirrors. We are metaphysicians, the best kind of magician, metaphysicians who use universal law, inspiration, and imagination to create worlds, to create a better world for ourselves and for humanity. So let's just embrace that amazing nature of our own, that magical nature, with a vibrant yes! And so it is. Thank you, my friends. And so now I'm going to turn this back over to the magical, mysterious